Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Louis, how are you?
Very good. Very good.
You got your coffee?
No, got up early this morning. I'm coffeeed out. My wife cut me off. So today we want to talk about the quality of experience from a person's perspective for people versus machine, and what's the difference between the quality of experience expectation that machines have versus people. Um, and maybe we can talk about this and have a few examples. Your thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, so I think, and if you think about experience, right? Humans, we're not programmed where we respond, but we actually have been trained, right? So if you think of the cell phone experience with the average person, and we all experience this day to day, the call drops, the one-way speech path, which I find nutso because all of a sudden there's like something wrong. You don't know what it is. You have to end the call. You're trying to call. And what humans, I'll try again, and they'll just say, I'll give up, I'll do it later. Because that call wasn't dictating what I did next, right? I'm sure it would be infuriating if you were, stopped by the police and you needed to call your lawyer and you couldn't proceed. That would be a problem. But for most of us, it's not an essential service. So we just kind of move on. When I think of machines in the autonomous world, I don't think they're moving on. I think that they're coordinated events. I think that the experience becomes mission critical and something stops, like a power outage, right? When a power outage hits, you think of intersections in a street, lights go turned off and they go blinking. It has a drastic, immediate effect. You can't just work around it like a human does.
That's a very good example. And then to use the standard cell phone, if I lose the connection, I'll just redial eventually, right? So
Yeah. And another example I thought of, Louis, and I think this is where you're going here and probing me, is the coordinated machines, and the network is now essential. So think of an autonomous mine, right? You have all these vehicles that are running autonomous, and they have to be connected at all times. And if they become disconnected, they're all going to stop. Just kind of like a checkout line in a grocery store and the power goes out, right? You're stuck. The same thing will happen here, and that's going to cost lots of money. So the machines have a higher expectation. Now, at the same time, some of the machine technology will adapt and overcome. Drones, they go back home. Like, imagine that if you were driving in your car, you couldn't make a phone call. You had to go back home and get on your wireline phone because you needed to call somebody. That's what's going to happen in the machine world. The drones have to go back home. It's like, I've lost my connection. I got to go back home. So it's a big difference in the expectation.
yeah, so there's a downtime criticality, maybe some health and safety um, variation there. You talked about the hauler in a mine, right? At 70 miles an hour, 400 ton. You don't want that thing to be flying solo, right?
No,
So
no, you don't.
so I like your street corner example, right? Because if there's a power failure and the electrical company wants to turn on the recloser and they can't turn them on, they basically have to send a truck for somebody to push the button, right? Or lift it up. So I think what I'm getting from this conversation and the folks listening will get is that we're very copacetic, we're very understanding, but machines are not so understanding. And
No.
the trickle effect at a factory floor and a car factory, could basically stop the line, right? So
Yeah. And I think the paramount maybe to the human experience is watching a sporting event, right? The humans do not tolerate, if they're watching a live event on TV, having interference issues. It'll get to the point of they don't watch it. This just happened with my wife and I the other day, and we were streaming. Okay, so this should be cached, shouldn't be any problems. It kept breaking, right? And it would pause. start again, pause. We said, forget it. We're not watching. We can't. It's a useless experience if it's not flawless. So I think how humans want video, live video streamed to them is the same, I think, as how machines need to be connected to their network at all times.
And they don't tolerate jitter, or they don't tolerate pixeling or anything like that, right?
Oh,
That is a very good example. And I know you just thought about this on top of your head.
yeah.
So that's good. And do you have anything else you want to add for our viewers today? Maybe it's a good time for us to say, if you have some great topic ideas, just send them to us.
Yeah, send it to info@cheetahnetworks.com.
And we will do our best to address them.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michael. Have yourself a great day.